So YouTube, and welcome back to another one of my videos. So you've read the title and you now know that I am participating in Emma Blackery's album club. So if you don't know what that is, I will have her video linked down in the description below where she talks about the album club and gives us 4 albums to listen to in the month of January. So my goal is to listen to all of the albums that she recommends and make a video about them near the end of the month. So this month we had 4 albums. I have not heard of any of these artists before or any of the albums before. These are all new albums and artists for me. So the first album is Izura, I can't pronounce X's, by a band called Copeland. I knew it was going to be the kind of album that I enjoyed the minute that I heard the first track, which was I Always Loved You. It is it's an amazing opening track. It's the kind of music that I listen to in the morning. I had a playlist on my iPod called morning music, and I had musicians on it like Fanny Lolly and stuff like that, like really chill music, and I love that kind of chill vibe. It's really nice to like wake up in the morning and listen to some like acoustic chill stuff. And this is the kind of album that I would chuck on in the morning when I'm traveling the bus and I'm still kind of half dazed and I just want something peaceful but something also beautiful to listen to. I understood what Emma meant when she said that like these types of songs would fit really well in the Life is Strange, you know, franchise, especially songs like Ordinary, I Can Make You Feel Young Again, and World Turn, which are all amazing tracks. I do really like the Life is Strange franchise, like the music in it. You've probably heard me say it a million times. I have videos on Life is Strange franchise. I absolutely love it. I have a flipping butterfly, like blue butterfly tattoo. Like, I love Life is Strange. So when I hear something that's reminiscent of that music, of course I like it. It's Life is Strange, kind of. Another thing that I think is really important in albums is good lyrics, and this album has some of the most beautiful lyrics that I have ever heard. But as Emma said, again, this album is like acoustic, but it's got like some electronic elements in it, which I heard. To me, that sounded kind of like a stripped back Paris. Paris is another band that I absolutely adore. I will be listening to this album 100% again. So I've wrote down that my favourite tracks, I'm going to give my 3 favourite tracks for every single album, were Disjointed, Erase, and Like a Lie. They're my 3 favourites. Brilliant songs, especially Erase. I think Erase is my favourite out of those 3. And out of 10, I give this album an 8. So the next album is by a band called Dead, and I say dead like that because it has an exclamation point. You gotta use your punctuation. This is an album called The Golden Age of Nothing. For me, I wasn't really into this album because it's not my kind of music. If you, again, listen to my playlist, you will find very little songs that are like this. I don't like too much screaming or shouting or anything like that. So this album was a bit too heavy for my liking, especially tracks that were like the opening track, The Boys, like that was very yelly and screamy, and Up for Ransom was another one that I was like, oh god, no. I do like rock music, don't get me wrong, but not like this kind of heavy rock. It's just because I find it really hard to concentrate on the lyrics and the meaning when there's like so much going on. You have like guitar, you have like mad drums, you have like some screamy guy in the mic, you have shouting, you've got, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on, and my brain just goes, no, it's not what I'm into, you know, but I don't want to be mean about it because I know I go by a theory that all music speaks to somebody in some way. There's no song that is all bad and there's no song that is all good. The positives I found this album is instruments are used well. You know, these guys are talented guys. You know, like there's a song in it called Enough Enough Enough. There's plenty of cool guitar stuff in there, and there's like a really cool bass in Up for Ransom, and most of the tracks in this album, the bass really stood out to me, and the drums too. You know, even though this album, you know, again, wasn't my sort of thing, I did find 2 songs that I kind of liked off the album, and they were Off-White Paint, I really liked that one, and A Conversation with Concrete. But the album as a whole, I won't be listening to it again. I'll probably pick out them 2 tracks, stick in my playlist, and that'll be that. This sounds really harsh, but I did give this album, I give it a 3 out of 10. The reason why I did is it's not my type of music. It's not something I'm going to come back to, but it doesn't mean it's a bad album. So the next album on this list is Lord Huron, Strange Trails. I I thought this album was okay. Very, very chill again. You know, this is my type of music, the kind of acoustic, chill vibe. However, I'm not like the biggest fan of country music. I used to say I really dislike country music, but recently I was doing a shoot for college and it was country music and I actually quite enjoyed it. So like, it wasn't all bad. And I love Red by Taylor Swift, which was quite a country pop album. It was my favourite Taylor Swift album, so maybe there's a little bit of country that speaks to me. I don't know, maybe it's just good country music I like. I've written here, you know, I didn't like the more country sounding tracks on this album, like Dead Man's Hands. I understand what Emma meant when she said the first track would fit in the Life is Strange realm again, and the first track was Love Like Ghosts. And when I heard it, I'm like, yeah, she's right. This is very Life is Strangey. I also agree with Emma in the way that she said all the songs in the album sound really, really similar. Like, as you go through the album, every song starts to sound the same. I would say it's more music that you would listen to if you were, you know, if you're doing an important assignment and you just want something in the background to kind of keep you focused. But it's also a good album if you want to have a few little bops. There's some good bops in there. So near the end of the album, I did get a little bit bored and I found myself kind of counting the tracks. It does pick up a little bit near the end, so you're not really counting the tracks as much, but that's how samey it kind of got near the end for me. However, I have to say that the lyrics are very, very good in this album and the instruments are used very, very well. I thought that the song World Ender, specifically that song, sounded really, really awesome, and it's a really good example of how well the instruments are actually used on this album to create this kind of dramatic effect. And I will be adding the tracks that I liked to the playlist, and my favourite tracks was Until the Night Turns, really like that one. The World Ender, I think that's my favourite one, and Meet Me in the Woods. So I give this album a 5 out of 10 just because of how samey some of the tracks got near the end. Really, really good album. I do recommend this album. So next album in the album club this month was, oh god, Janine Kiko. Oh god. I'm really sorry if I'm butchering your name. I feel like I'm being horrible. This is an album called Trip. This was a really, really cool album. It was awesome album. However, it is really, really, really long. This is something that I can't compare to anything because I've never heard anything like it before. I like how the different instruments are used in every song. Like, for example, soft drums in a song called Moments. There's piano in New Balance. There's flutes in Oblivion. And you know, every song has a completely different arrangement, yet it flows and keeps this narrative structure throughout the album. Yeah, there was 3 different trips that you talked about in the album. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but there was definitely drugs and love in there. I like how the story was told through music, lyrics and dialogue, because some of the tracks have that like dialogue at the end. I also liked how the songs flowed into each other really well and then again told that story. Especially my favourite part of the album was the way the songs flow between Nobody, Overstimulated, and then into that song Bad Trip. It's a really, really cool part of the album. It's really dark, you know, with like the screaming and stuff, but it is amazing. However, the only problem that I find with this album is that I would find it very, very hard to listen to some of the tracks outside of that flowy nature. I find that with these albums that are very, very narrative driven or have to be listened to in a certain structure, that you can find it hard to then listen to the album out of order, like on shuffle. Also, usually I complain about rappers being featured on albums. Any of my album reviews, I'm like, there's a rapper. I don't like that. But in this album, I feel that the raps fit, you know, the theme and the style of this music. You know, the drugs vibe, it's like alternative R&B this album is. So the rap works and fits really, really well. I'm happy that it's kind of changed my perspective on the way that I view rappers. This will definitely be an album that I will be listening to again. It's one of those albums that'll come into my head and go, you know what, I haven't listened to that album in a while, and I'll probably put it on and listen to it, you know, from track 1 to track 22, because it is a listening experience. So my favourite tracks in this album was While We're Young, New Balance and Overstimulated. I give this album a 8 out of 10. It's just a really, really cool album. Something I've never heard before, something new, and it's good to get exposed to new music. So that is the albums for the album clubs this month. Tune in next month. Might be coming to you from Italy. Will I have time to listen to 4 albums whilst exploring Italy? I don't know. So I'll have everything that I've said linked in the description below. Emma's video, her playlist and my playlist. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe with some love, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video where God knows what I'll be doing, but I'll be doing something. So thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video.